Well, for diaspora communities, the developments are worrying, which is why on Friday a conference opens in London to discuss and formulate strategies to help those already working on the Ebola front line. Well, I'm now joined in the studio by Shanice Lindsay, who's organiser of the Elbow Out Ebola conference, and by His Excellency Paul Goa Zoumanigui, I beg your pardon, Zoumanigui, who is the Guinea High Commissioner. Please, apologies for my mispronunciation there of your name, but a very warm welcome to both of you. In an ideal world, we should be meeting in better circumstances. But look, let's talk about the group Elbow Out Ebola. It is new, and the objectives of this conference, how would you describe them?
Okay, yes, Elbow Out Ebola is a new organisation that is made up of a whole range of organisations from the local community and individuals who are really concerned about Ebola and the situation that is happening in parts of West Africa. We are individuals who feel the pain, we feel the humiliation, we feel the loss of the loved ones that people in West Africa are facing and experiencing at the moment. And we've all come together to see what we can do to try and help in any way that we can, you know, to lessen the suffering and ultimately, you know, raise the concerns and information that we get about where the gaps are in terms of the provision.
Before we look at those gaps, you use the word humiliation. What is the humiliation?
Well, we've had a series of meetings and discussions as a committee as part of the planning for this conference, and part of the discussions that we've had has had to do with the way that the Ebola victims are being portrayed and covered on the TV. So there was a particular TV programme, for example, that was actually in the hospitals, showing people as they were suffering, showing people as they were dying. You know, we felt it was very inhumane. We felt that here in the UK, TV cameras would not be allowed in the hospitals to show people in their sick and dying state. And we felt it was very demeaning, you know, very humiliating and very disrespectful. And so these are some of the messages that, you know, we want to put out to the media as well. That they need to be more sensitive in their coverage.
So it's double standards, and that sense of humiliation, presumably, Ambassador, this is something that you have felt as well, and your countrymen.
Well, I would say in certain cases, yes, but in the case of my country, I would say frustration. Frustration because people did not know about these diseases, and they were a little bit astonished by the measure taken to go toward them. But that's why the government tried to sensitize the population to let them know that this is not a fatality, it is a disease. When you come earlier at the treatment center, you can be cured. It is if you don't come at the treatment center at time that you might have a problem. That's what I can say.
Because it is a big problem in Guinea. So, from your knowledge, how do you think the authorities are coping?
Well, let me just go a little bit far. You know, the beginning was difficult. We were not experienced on this kind of diseases. It was too late that we discovered that it was Ebola. And when that was known, the government declared that it was Ebola on 21st March. And measures were taken to cope it by first detecting the people who were affected, to isolate them. And you know the tradition in our countries. People, the frustration came there. When people know that they have not access in their relative who is sick, that it brings some kind of bad thinking on people. And then there were this process of sensitization. The sensitization process was not easy. But today, the population itself is involving in sensitization process. But what is the most important, the government has settled a national coordination committee where all stakeholders are represented, partners, national counterpart, and that's decentralized all over the country to try to inform people about the diseases, the treatment process, all the process from the beginning of tackling the diseases up to the end.
And that's very important, isn't it, Shanice? Because we know, certainly from some of the media coverage, that a lot of people, because they didn't really know much about Ebola or they had other ideas about it, they often went into hiding. And again, that made the situation worse.
Yes, in some circumstances, yes. And I think it's important, you know, what you said there. Not everyone that contracts Ebola actually dies from it. At the moment, there's about a 50% success rate. So we know that, you know, that there are some people that have particular antibodies who are able to fight Ebola. You know, we want to know more about, you know, what are these antibodies that people are carrying? What is it that they're eating that's enabling them, you know, to survive Ebola? Because that's an important message as well. And equally important, yes, I mean, once someone is contagious and they're affected by Ebola, you know, more information and knowledge needs to be spread throughout the community so that people are aware of how Ebola is transmitted and how they can be affected by it. And if they have that information, then they're able to take the correct precautions.
And save their lives.
Save their own life and treat the affected person, you know, in the right way. So, I mean, there's so much that it's such a complex issue, this, and there's so much work that needs to be done.
Absolutely, and there is, of course, the aftermath as well, because once this current virus is contained and it's removed, there is the rebuilding afterwards, because it has to be stressed that there are a number of children who've been orphaned as a result of Ebola. It has affected the productivity of many countries because people are sick, they're unable to go to work, and there is so much to be done, and you have to make sure that the health service that is there, it is fortified so that if this were to arise again, people know immediately what to do.
Indeed, you are perfectly right. When it comes to that point, in my country, people, as they did not know about it, there was this frustration, as we said, but it affected the productivity, and it has a lot of impact. People are producing goods, and they cannot sell it. It generates unemployment and so many other consequences. One of the things that we might talk about now is how people are closing the borders. I think, as the president of Guinea said, it is not to stigmatize the people who are sick or the country which are affected. It is to isolate and stigmatize Ebola.
Being responsible.
Yes, being responsible. What Guinea has done in that sense is to start checking the people who are boarding the plane. And I will tell you from June to July of this year, 47 people were detected suspect, and they were banned to board the planes. And what my president said is, why other countries, instead of closing the borders, they cannot take measure to have a detection measure at the airport that will allow to detect people, to isolate them and treat them. Yes, the economic impact is there, and today studies has been done in Guinea economically on agriculture to see what has been the impact. I will just say that on economic issues, we have the gap of $8,017 today, and that was some two months ago. And there are more studies going on. And what is most important, we have the government has elaborated an accelerated plan to eradicate Ebola,
so
which is going up to April 2014.
So it's not just dealing with things now, but dealing with things in the future going forward. But time is our enemy, sadly, with these things. The final word to you. Could you give us an idea where this conference is taking place, when it starts?
Yes. The conference is happening tomorrow. Doors open at 9 o'clock. It's at the Zanzibar and Halls at 291 Kirkdale Road in Sydenham, London. The postcode is SE26 4QD. And we have His Excellency from Guinea at the conference, along with His Excellency from Sierra Leone. We have a representative from the Nigerian High Commissioner, the Liberian High Commission, and we have a number of organisations that are doing really good work on the ground in these countries who want to be want to share information
Sure.
about how their work can be supported and bolstered, so that and these are the organisations that are reaching the people that the large age organisations are unable to reach.
Okay, so everybody is welcome.
Everybody is welcomed. If you're concerned about Ebola, please come, bring your expertise, your knowledge, your skills, your time. You know, we would appreciate that very
Simple
much.
ideas. We have to leave it there, but Shanice, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And Excellency Paul Goa Zoumanigui, thank you so much. Thank you.